Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So in this video we're going to be covering the dynamic routes in NextJS14 with the app configuration. Okay, so in the last video we had our application here. It was just a simple application, so we're just gonna run the application. So let's cd into the document, into the directory, then npm run deb to run it, and let's see. Okay, let's go to see our website. Alright, so that's NextJS14. This is what we have. So right now what we want to do is we want to create a new page, a new directory, and it's going to be called products. So we'll just call products, and remember that inside of it I need to create a new page.tsx, and I'm just going to copy the same here for this. No, this is the about page. Let me close a few of these. Alright, so we'll just rename this product, and then we'll just say maybe like product 1. No, we'll just have like all the products here listed, right? 2, 3, and all of that, right? But how do we create the routes for those products? So I don't want to keep doing like, a directory. I can put here like the product ID, right? So like I don't want to say 1 and then create like a page.tsx, because then I'll have to, if I have 100 products, I'll have to create like 100 pages, which takes a long time. So you don't want to do that. So let me just go and see this page for now. Alright, so basically we have this, and if we go to products, we have products here. So we'll have the page with the product 1, 2, 3. So what if we want to see the details of each product, right? Like maybe product 1, 2, and 3. So alright, so to do that we have to go and create a dynamic route. So a dynamic route means that we're passing an ID, and then that's gonna, so we're just saying like product ID, and inside of that one we're creating like a page.tsx, right? Which is gonna be we'll just say something like product details, and then we'll display the product ID, right? Well, I'll show you that in a second. Let me just show you this. So this is how you create like a dynamic route. Let me see if I can make it bigger. So you go on the left, you have to create like a new directory called product ID or slog or whatever you want to call it, and inside of that one you want to create like a page.tsx. So that's how the documentation says that you have to do it. See, so like ID is log, and a dynamic segment can be created by wrapping a file or folder name in the square brackets. So that's how you create like a dynamic route. So let's say that I go to here and I go to 1, it's going to show me the product details for 1. I go to 2, product details for 2. Of course I can just make like a call to my database and then match the IDs from here to what I have stored there, and it's going to show me whatever is in the product details for product number 1. Alright, so basically we're just gonna be passing like the params here so that you can see it, that it's gonna show like for each, so we'll just say params, and then here we'll pass say params that product ID, because that's what we named the what's wrong here. Oh, it says it has any type, so here we have to, because we're using TypeScript. Well, let me just leave it at that for now, and then I'll show you how to fix that. Yeah, so if you go here, so now you see it's showing like the product details for 2. If we go and type 100, this would be like the product details for 100, like product number 100, and so forth and so on. So once again, if you want to dynamically create like a route, you have to create like a directory. You have to pass like an ID as log or whatever you want to call it, depending on what you're creating. In my case it's products, right? So I pass like product ID, and that has to be in the square brackets, and then you need to, inside of that one, you need to create like a page.tsx. Alright, so basically what we have to do here is we have to give it a type, right? So since we're using TypeScript, so we'll say product detail props, and then we'll say the params So here we give it the type, so it's product ID of type string, because it's a string, right? Right, and then here what we have to do is we have to define the type here. So it's product detail props. Okay, so now it's not complaining anymore, and we have this working, right? Okay, so now it's not complaining, and we have our route, so whatever we put here, it's gonna change dynamically. Alright, so now we're gonna cover something else, which is called the link tag. So instead of the A tag to create hyperlinks, in Next.js you use the link tag, right? So you say link, and then we'll just import from next link, and this is the same as saying like the A tag, right? So let me just, I will just change this a little bit. Okay, and now we're gonna say I don't know, we'll just say maybe like products, right, or something like that. Products, and here we'll have some links, right? So say link, and when you're doing the link, you need like an href. And where's the href going? This is going where you want it to go, right? So like this is the URL. So here we're gonna say products. So we'll just say product ID, and we'll say as, and this is gonna be like product, yes, products 1, something like that, right? And here we'll say product ID 1, product 1, or something like that, right? Right, so it's gonna tell me that it needs like a parent component or something like that. Yeah, a parent element. So then we just do this here. Then I'll stop complaining. Okay, so now we have like the route to our first product. So we do the same thing, but like we can say like, you know, we'll have to change this and the product 2, and then will be product 2, right? So if we go to our page now, let's see. So this is our page, right? So let's go to the products. So we already have our routes, right? So when we click on product 1, it's gonna take us to product 1 already. And if we click to product 2, it's gonna take us to product 2, right? So that's how the link tag works. Alright, so this is how it's gonna be passed, and then so here you need an href, which is gonna be the URL. Here we're passing the product ID, and we're just saying as product 1, because this is how we want it in the URL, right? Alright, so this is kind of confusing, right? So let's let me just take like a practical example of how this can work, and then I'll show you. So let's say that you want to pass, so you have some data, right? So let's say that you have product 1, 2, 3, right? And this is hypothetically, right? So we'll just say const products. Maybe you have this in from the database or something, whatever, and you're just fetching it, and then you wanna create like dynamic routes. Because this is also not ideal, because you don't want to be doing like this and this, right? So you're gonna fill the whole page. So here we need a loop to do that, right? To do this, what I'm talking about, right? So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna create a loop, and it's gonna be called products, because that's what's called here. And then we'll map and pass the product ID, right? So say this. Say product ID, and then let's see, we'll just create our arrow function, and then we have to open brackets here. Oh no, never mind, I have to open this. Okay, so let me just delete this one here. Okay, so what we're doing is we're gonna be mapping through whatever it's here, right? So right now we have you know, products that map that product ID, and because we don't want to be doing it all the time the same way, right? So we don't want to be like creating like 1,000 links here. We have like 1,000 products, and then here we say as, because this is how we want it in the browser when it appears, right? But now we're not passing statically this, we're also dynamically passing that, right? So to do that, we'll say product, we'll say product ID, right? And I'll explain in a second what's going on here. product ID. Let's see, since this is, have to do something like this here, and we'll have to, I'll just change this for the backticks here. Okay, just like that, because we're passing the product ID, right? So am I missing something here? Alright, so what am I missing here? Oh, I need to close this. It has to be like that, yeah. So I'm using the backticks because I'm passing the product ID here. Let's see. Okay, and then here we'll just say, you know, just product ID. Product ID, like that. Okay, so now we have our route. So let me explain once again our dynamic route. So let's say that you have some data here, right? And maybe this data is coming from the database, whatever. Or maybe you can have it statically like that, which is not good, but like this is just for example purposes, right? Okay, so let's say that we have that, right? So we don't want to be creating like a link every time that we have a new product, right? So we're just gonna map through that. So let's just map through that doing this. So we do products, which is the name here, right? So products that map, and then we're saying product ID, and then this is just like an arrow function, and we're creating an HTML here, like a link tag, and also like a p tag, and we're passing like the product ID. So you see how we're passing the product ID. So this is gonna so this function is gonna map through all the data here, and it's gonna set the product ID for each one. So it's gonna be one first, and then you know the URL is gonna get the one here. So we're gonna be going to see like the product details for product number 1, and we're gonna be displaying this automatically as well. So you're gonna have also like product 1, product 2, product 3, and so forth and so on, right? So it's running already. So let's go and check this out. So if we go to products, so since we just have like 3 in the data that I just have 3 elements in the data. So if I go to product 1, I already have product details 1, product 2, product details 2, product 3, product details 3. And you don't have to be passing like a link every time that you create a new product. So the way to go here is to get your data and map through the data and start creating dynamically, not just the product ID pages or like the dynamic routes, but also like the saving like you know, a lot of code here and start creating like the links to those products. So I hope that's clear. It's a little bit confusing in the beginning, but you'll get the hang of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this, for dynamic routes, for a link component, and how to map through the data and start creating dynamically, you know, the product links to your product details, or the details of each of your products. So if this video was useful, please leave a like, leave a comment. Yeah, just let me know what you want me to do next. I might create like a full stack application. I'm still thinking about it. And yeah, just let me know what works, what you want to see. And don't forget to share, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. And more videos like this are coming soon. So stick around. Thank you. Appreciate it.